we're on right now.
Oh, we're just going with it?
I'm going with it because you're moving things around. Hi, welcome to Beyond the Surface with Madi Jenkins. I apologize for the chaos as we've got our co-host here in person. He is not in his jail cell at Fort Hayes.
Wow.
It
Okay.
looks like a jail cell.
That's
When
mean.
you pull up Zoom, your background is a brick wall, like brick wall, not a regular wall. It's a brick wall. You look like you're in a jail cell.
Sorry.
Well, I'm just saying. So
That's all I can afford is jail cell and food meals. I eat slop on a plate.
oh, now you're getting dramatic. Okay. Well, welcome to our second episode together. Well, second episode with Jack. There's more episodes that have already been recorded. So, to be honest, I don't know what episode this is going to run into. So, this is just Thanksgiving week with Jack. Welcome, Jack Hileman.
Back from the break.
Back from the
For
break.
the break.
All right. We're going to start off this episode. Every episode that we have with Jack, we have a little segment where we're going to do. What is it? What is it called? Take it away.
All right. What she titled it is Jack's thought-provoking question of the day. So I've just had a lot of questions I've asked her off the podcast where she's just like, huh, or something. And there's a lot on our document, you know?
Huh.
Yeah,
Or
that's
something.
what it's called.
You said, huh. Or something.
Or something. I don't know. Okay. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
How much of patience is about managing expectations and how much is about controlling emotions?
I think, ooh, that goes with our topic. I personally think patience is more about controlling your emotions. Mm, that's a hard one.
See? Yeah.
Because I mean, if you set those expectations, setting those expectations automatically is going to make you want to speed up the process and meeting those expectations. But I guess if you have it in your head that those expectations are going to take time to meet, I guess it's a timeline. It's the timeline that you have in your head that you know what it's going to take to meet those expectations. So you have to control
Yeah,
the emotion behind it.
exactly. That's what I was gonna get to. I was gonna say, I think expectations is good, like setting those goals and
Yeah.
when to meet them. That's very good. But like when you get to that timeline or that time point and you don't achieve your goal, it's about your emotions on how you handle it.
Right. Well, because like if you're moving forward with something, you're trying to achieve a specific goal and there's a failure in the way, your emotions are going to take over and
Yeah,
instead of being realistic
that's
with
adversity, and you just gotta
push through it.
bounce off or yeah, push through it.
Man, if that didn't make you think, for those of you at home listening, answer that one for yourselves. Why don't you? That was a good one. Good one. Okay, so obviously this not obviously, but this episode we're kind of going over patience and not just a specific avenue, but in several different aspects and areas in your life. I know, I mean, Jack's a college football player. I'm a business owner and used to be power lifter. So we've had not had to deal, but like patience, setting those expectations, setting goals and trying to reach certain goals have been consistent through our entire life. So I had a instance lately. So for those of you that don't know, I used to be a competitive powerlifter, and I no longer compete in powerlifting. I still prioritize strength training, but my whole goal right now in my fitness life is just to keep my body healthy and strong. So what I've been doing is still continuing to strength train. I'm also trying to balance my hormones, but I've been trying to incorporate more running because I didn't used to run when I was powerlifting because it was hard on my joints with the amount of load that
Who
I was.
likes running?
I actually enjoy it. I actually missed it when I was training.
I've heard so many people on the football team. We've talked about this we've talked about this multiple times on if after football, how much are we actually going to run? All of us have like in the moment, we just get done with like a morning run or something. And in the moment, we're just like, no, I'm not running ever again.
Well, I've heard with boys coming out of the Derby program, football program,
Yeah.
none of them squat. They refuse to squat. I have several that were in my class that like did not want to put a barbell on their back once they were graduating.
Dang.
just
Yeah,
because, I mean, they did
that
it
goes the same way, just
right.
bad experience.
Exactly. Exactly. So moving on with that. So I have been starting to run. And what I've been doing with running is a mile has always been my max. That's just been, for some reason, that has been a goal. As long as I can achieve a mile without stopping, like I'm good. I'm golden. So that's what I would do is I would go on my run. I'd start with a walk and then I'd run a mile and I'd time it. So I'd be going through this mile, constantly checking my watch, kind of seeing where my time lay, where my pace was. And there would be some days where if I'm feeling good, I'd try to beat it. And there'd be some days where I get started and I'd automatically know, like, yeah, no, today's not going to be the day. So we're just going to keep a good pace and try to keep an average. I had like an average mile, which was around 9:30, 9 minutes, 9.5 minutes was my mile. So, and then I'd do like sprints or interval training after that for another mile. One day, for some reason, I got in my head, I have never ran more than a mile nonstop. Why don't I try and push myself and see what I can do? So, what I told myself was these two things. One, I'm not going to check my watch. And two, I'm going to find a good pace that I know I can keep instead of rushing to the finish line because I had no set in goal. It was just, let me see what I can do. Let me go until I have to stop. And I started to get to the point where my knee was starting to get aggravated. I was like, all right, okay, I'm done. And I checked my watch and I did 2 miles in 18 minutes. Never have sniffed that. Ever have I sniffed that. I actually texted you and you were like, F that.
Yeah. I think it was when we got done with like practice or something and my legs were shot. But yeah.
Get that text. Hey, just ran 2 miles. So that opened my eyes a little bit as I was like, wow, why have I not been able to do this in the past? Like, why have I been so stuck on that mile? But also in my head, for some reason, I thought I was never capable of going more than a mile because I'd be so gassed after that mile. And then I realized it was because when I was running that mile, I knew that that was my end goal. And it didn't matter how the pace I was in, I wanted to get there as quickly as possible. I didn't want to take my time because I just wanted to be done and over with because I knew it was going to be hard, but I just want to rush to the finish. So, venture back. I did 2 miles again last week. So that'd be the second time. But this time was harder. And the reason was because I knew I was capable of doing it. I had set the goal in my head, I'm going to finish 2 miles, but I didn't set a specific time. I didn't set a specific pace. It was just, I'm going to finish it. So as I was starting, I could catch myself want to go faster and faster. And I would have to hold myself back because I realized that I was trying to rush and gas myself out. And I knew if I were going to do that, I was never going to finish. I was going to have to stop. And like you and I were talking about earlier, my whole goal behind that was to just finish without stopping, not set a specific time. Yeah. So it opened my eyes. And I even texted Jack and I was like, wow, that right there just kind of proves that we live in this hustle culture where it doesn't matter the specifics, the not the journey, how cheesy as that takes. We all want to get there as quickly as possible. It doesn't matter what it takes.
We're all looking for the outcome and not the journey.
Yes. Yes. Because I literally had to keep telling myself, be patient. I'm going to finish. I know I'm going to finish. But if I want to finish in the way that I had told myself at the beginning I'm going to finish, I have to slow down. I have to be patient with it. So that's kind of what sparked my eye-opening idea, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like going off your how you said you were just wanting to get through the mile.
Just get done.
Yeah, just get done or something. I feel like we all go into a lot of things we dread, but we know we need to do, or we like the, I don't know about you, but in a lot of workouts, before I go to the workout, my mind is like, all right, I need to do this. I need to be consistent. I just get through it and I'll be happy. But then once I get into it, like after the first 5 or 10 minutes, once I get into it, I'm like, okay, let's set these little milestones along the workout, and I start pushing myself a little bit during the workout.
I'm following you.
And then at the end of it, I'm like, oh, that was good. I didn't just get through that. I liked it. But it's always at the beginning. You're like,
I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want to get out of bed and do this. But then when I'm there, like every morning workout I have, and I'm sure this is true with everyone because you work out a lot in the morning. You're sitting in bed, you're like, I don't want to go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you're there or when you get through it, you're like, that was good. I like that.
Yes, I'm glad I did it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I hear that a lot from my members and a lot of my morning members. They literally they tell me they can't give themselves a choice or a reason to not come because the moment they open that door,
Yeah.
then they're not going to show up. So literally just I don't even think I turn my brain on until my clothes are on because once my clothes are on, actually it's once I'm up. Like it's going to happen regardless whether
Yeah.
it's a good workout or not, it's going to happen.
That's how as soon as you get out of bed, you're like, well, I can't go.
Yeah, you can't go back. I'm out of bed. It's just going to happen.
That's different for some people because I've heard some people get up and
I don't know how.
and then they go right back to sleep. I'm like, I can't.
I don't know how people can do that. I don't know how people can do that. I envy those people because once I'm up, I'm up. Your girl is up.
Well, that's also just in the morning when if you just force yourself to get up, that's starting a habit.
Ooh.
But it's about that consistency.
Mm-hmm. You're right. You're right. Okay, well, talking about habits and daily habits and keeping consistent with reaching those goals, do we want to kind of let's list some bad habits we have, and then we can list some good habits that we've implemented. So okay. I'm going to start with a bad habit because I know I've been trying to work on this, but before bed, I scroll on my phone.
Oh, yeah.
I'm guilty. Yeah. So guilty. Granted, I will say the time that I'm on my phone has lessened. I do it for about 10, 15 minutes, but majority of the time that I'm on my phone, it's like I'm finally looking at those notifications I've had all day. Mm-hmm. That's what it is that I do. But I do scroll on my phone. I do. That's a bad habit that I have before bed.
I have a bad habit of not before bed, but like whenever I have free time throughout a day and I know I have a bunch, I'll just sit there. Even though I know I can get something done, I'll sit there and scroll on my phone.
Oh, on your phone.
Yeah, on my phone or like watch YouTube or something. And then there'll be like an hour or two passes. I'm like, I could have done so much with that time.
Oh my God.
I could have done so much.
That would ruin my whole day if I would have done that.
And going off of that, like morning on weekends when I have like a full day off and I'm like, okay, I could be productive or something, but I don't have anywhere to be. I'll just sit in bed or I'll play video games or watch YouTube or watch a movie or something. But those days I don't go out of bed and be productive when I first start my day. Yeah. The rest of my day is a fog, no matter how productive I am. Yeah. I'm just not in it, not locked in. That's a terrible habit for me.
Yeah, but I feel like personally, we kind of deserve those down periods though.
I think I need to do my down periods after I'm productive though.
Yes, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and that's what I've realized is I'm a better person when I'm productive at the start of the day, instead of the end of the day.
Could that be because we're both morning people? Because I'm the same way.
Probably. Yeah.
Because 1 or 2 o'clock hits, I'm done. I'm checked out. Like we're lucky that we're recording this podcast right now, just because.
Oh yeah.
It's 2 o'clock. No, literally, like my brain is starting to like fizzle. I can like feel it. And that sounds like such an excuse. And it's not, because I know it's something I need to work on, is giving myself those breathing times throughout the day so that I can last longer throughout the day. Kind of lines up with a 2-mile run, I feel like.
Yeah.
But have you heard of the brain breaks? Like there's like an app you can get on your phone where you can set a timer.
There's an app?
There's an app you can set on your phone.
Does it like shut off your phone?
It like shuts out your social media, your whatever app, like specific apps. You'll put specific apps in that app. Oh. And you can like turn on the timer and it'll let you be on those social media apps for a certain period of time, whatever timer you set. And then once the timer's done, it like locks the apps. So you can't get on them anymore.
That's pretty cool.
I need to find it and I'll send it to you.
I don't know if I'd use it because I don't know.
You would have to go through the motions of actually setting it up.
Yeah, I'd have to go and actually do that.
Which I don't know if
I'd rather just have the consciousness to be like I need to get off.
That's true. That's true. Okay, so we talked about bad habits. What's a good habit?
A good habit?
You just said you start your day being productive, or you try to. So
I try to, but I've also noticed the days I don't. It's not really a habit because I have to get up on the days I don't, but the days I do have something in the morning. Yeah, the days I do have something in the morning, I have to get up. The days I don't, it's a bad habit that I don't get up. Because then the rest of my day just.
I see what you're saying.
So are we on good habits?
Good habits.
Okay. Hmm.
My whole morning regimen is a good habit because I do it every single morning, whether I'm up at 4:30 or it's my day that I get to sleep in till 6 with Mav. Like I do it every single time. I get up, let the dogs out. I get ice. I go to the bathroom, wash my face, ice my face, kind of get dressed, brush my teeth, go feed the dogs, and then I make a protein filled breakfast. Like the first thing I eat in the morning is protein.
Mm-hmm.
And I know everybody's on that protein kick, but yes, protein is important for you. But I've been doing it because it's been researched to help with balancing your hormones. And since I'm trying to start doing that, so I start my day with 30 grams of protein and then I eat my carbs and my fats. But I'm drinking water all along the way. But that's literally, and then pack my bag and I'm out the door for class. Like that's every
Your
single
morning
morning.
routine.
Every single morning does not fail. I do the same thing.
Hmm.
It starts
Okay.
my day off.
I don't know if I have because my not every day for me starts the same.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah. But one thing I do have a habit of is whenever my day is over, like whether I get out of practice or I'm done with my workout or I'm done with classes, whenever my day's done, work, whatever, I always go home and I have to finish whatever homework is due that night. I don't push it off. I do it whenever I can, as early as I can. And then I always go to shower, get ready for bed, even if it's 5 or 6 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
I get ready for bed. I'm like, I have to do this before I have downtime. And then my downtime is,
I feel like it's so much easier to relax when you do that.
yeah, because you're like, I'm done with everything.
Oh my
Whenever I fall
gosh.
asleep, I could just go to bed.
That is the best. That's I personally will keep my shower one of the last things I do before I'm able to lay down because that automatically like tells my brain I'm done and I can shut off.
Yeah. Do you remember when we were younger? I don't know if you did the same thing, but whenever we'd have chores or something, mom, don't want to call out mom, but she did have a we got over this, but when I was younger, she had a bad habit of I I did my chores in the morning, everything she told me to do, like the night before or that morning. I did my chores. I was like, okay, I'm done with my chores. And I get in the shower thinking I'm done. And then right as I got out of my shower, laying on the couch or something, she'd be like, hey, can you go mow the
Do
lawn or
X.
something? I'm like, I just got out of the shower.
Oh no. No, I did not. Because you would do it first thing. I feel like I don't know why this has been ingrained in me, but I would, before I go to bed, I'm showering. Like if I know I'm about to lay in bed,
Yeah.
if there's like extra time where I'm like, I don't know if I'm going straight to bed, then I won't shower. I'll wait until right before I'm going to bed.
Yeah. Well, I always did it because I hated laying. I
I
hated laying down
get
when I was
that. I
sweaty.
get
I
that.
was like,
Yes. Yes, I totally get that. Okay, those are good habits. I think those are good habits.
yeah.
Okay, so we have some questions that we kind of created and came up with based on the topic that we're talking about. So let's start with number 2.
Number two.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you think social media affects people's perception of patience and the time it takes to achieve success?
I think it has the biggest impact ever.
You've been holding that one in, haven't you?
Yes. I can't say I love social media, but it's been personally for me like I have gotten better. I know I have gotten better because I'm like, look at me. Like I'm wearing sweats today. I don't really care about what I look like as much anymore. But it's so hard when you're sitting there and you're busting your butt. You're trying to remind yourself to trust the process and be patient and do what you know that you need to do in order to achieve the goals that you have made. But then you see someone else, you feel like it may not be perceived, it may not actually in real time be the way that you're perceiving it because let's face it, the only thing we post on social media is our perfect lives. But to you, the outsider, looks like this one person or these two people are just achieving everything you're trying to achieve or doing it even better. And you're like, what the hell? Excuse me. Like, or not even that, like, that's amazing. Support them, wish them the very best. But what am I not doing that's not allowing me to reach that just as quickly as they are, or we are perceiving just as quickly as they are?
Well, most of those influencers, most of the influencers don't post those times where they fall flat on their face or they hit a wall and they're like, yeah, those negative times or the failures that led them to succeed. Most of them don't post that.
I know,
because that's not what gets the views. And in today's world of all the marketing is on social media, no one gets as the TV advertisements besides the Super Bowl are not as well viewed as social media.
No, it's not.
Social media marketing is where it's at, and that's where everyone's putting in their time.
It's so stupid. But if I have anything to say about that, it is what you see on the screen is not real life. And that's the whole point of this podcast. The whole freaking point of this podcast. What you see on social media is not real life. And I will even admit I have had to catch myself a few times when I'm making videos and I don't post something because I don't like the way I look, or because maybe I'm not wearing something that is as flattering, or maybe I'm bloated that day. So I'm like, no, I don't want to post that because it's not real life. That's not what we're going to post. And I know some people are trying to be transparent. I don't know how many times I've gone on social media and said the stupid word in full transparency. I know I'm annoyed too saying that. Those of you that have listened to my videos and you're like, how many times is she going to say, I'm trying to be transparent?
I've caught that a lot.
It's so stupid, but I feel like I have to over enunciate it in order to try and say, like, I'm trying to be real life, because nothing's freaking real life on social media anymore. It's stupid. There's so many positives that have come from social media. Don't get me wrong. That's where most of our marketing comes from. But I feel like the generation growing up, like, they have a lot of resources that have come from it. But in also hindsight, like, that's why hustle culture is so popular. Because we feel like we have to race to the finish line. We don't want to work either. Lord, we don't want to work.
Is that hustle culture mainly in I don't have a lot of like gym people on my social media. So is that mainly in that, or is it like spread to small business things? But like where and what, break down hustle culture for me.
Like
because I'm gonna be honest, I don't see it, because I also, most of my social media is just jokes or memes or funny videos.
Okay, so let me give you an example. So for me, what is one of my biggest flaws? Ironic that
you keep yourself busy constantly.
Okay, and the reason is because I feel guilty the moment I allow myself to relax, because when I turn on my phone and do that bad habit, I'm seeing other people busting their butt and working when I'm taking 5 to 10 minutes to sit down. And I'm like, shit, or excuse me, but like, crap, I could be doing X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. And then you don't realize that they sit down just as much as you do. Right. They just don't
post it,
show it.
Right.
Yeah.
That, or that video that you're seeing was created a week ago.
Yeah.
But you're perceiving it as today.
Yeah. Well, that, like, what was I going to say? That doesn't make, because I hate to say it, because you're currently doing some of this, but
that's fine. Say it.
All the posts on social media, it's just for the views and for money and for that profit. So are they going to get profit from, oh, look, it's a guy watching TV on his couch? No one's entertained with that.
And I'm not dissing that by any means, but I'm saying that automatically ingrains I have to in our head because someone else is.
Yeah, but that's a good habit to be like, I can't let this person outwork me.
Exactly. Well, yes.
But you have to realize the real life of it.
Yeah.
And
there's like, also burnout.
Yeah, and don't burn it. Yeah.
You have to find that balance. That's what I'm saying. The hustle culture. We push, also expecting that the outcome is going to come to us as quickly as possible. And then when that outcome doesn't come and we feel absolutely gassed and we wonder, what do I do now? Like, this, my ending expectation actually didn't end the way I thought it was going to.
Yeah, and that burnout is because you overdo it and don't realize part of the process is letting yourself recover mentally, physically, all that.
And being patient.
Yes, and patience.
Brought to you by Patience. Is there a candle called Patience or something?
I don't
There's a business out there.
I want to Google that.
There's a business out there called Patience. We are brought to you by Patience.
Pick your next question first, because I'm going to Google.
Okay, so in a world that often prioritizes instant results, how do you stay focused on the long-term vision? So for me personally, this is what I have myself do, and I have all of my clients do, and all of my athletes do, is we set a why. We set our big overall why, like why, what is your reasoning? What is your purpose for wanting to set these goals? So let me use something as an example. Let's go me. Okay. So starting out with powerlifting, my big why when I first started was because I wanted to see what I was capable of, because I had a realization when I went and started lifting that I was capable of more than what I actually thought. So my big why was just proving to myself that I am stronger than I thought. Like that sounds like such a broad why. Some people's whys are wanting to get stronger and uh keep their bodies healthy and more in athletic shape as they age. Some people's why, maybe, you're diagnosed with diabetes, is to help kind of overcome symptoms of certain things that they're experiencing. So by setting those whys, it allows us in that time when we're like, why, and we start to question, why am I not achieving, or why do I feel like this is going slower than it needs to be? You have to remind yourself, one, it's not going to happen overnight. All good things take time. Who said that? What
All
quote was
good
it?
things take
All
time.
good things take time. Is that a song? Anyway, all good
I'm
things take
Googling
time.
again. Oh, by the way, Patience is a yogurt and fruit snack company.
Perfect. Brought to you by Patience. Just kidding. This is not a paid podcast.
Please sponsor us, Patience.
Aiden Martin.
No, that's a song.
Oh, all good. I've never heard of that song
Hold up.
before.
I didn't put quote.
Oh, Zach Bryan sings the song.
Um,
Oh, there was no one
I don't
that,
think there's a bunch of quotes about it, but not.
no one specifically said it. Why do I feel like someone specifically said it? Well, it's also in the Bible, so I know that that's also um
Yeah, no, there's just a bunch of different
okay.
ones.
Anyway, all good thing, like
Someone famous said it.
someone famous said it. But that personally, I mean, I will bring up my faith a little bit, is so we're 1 year in the business, and I have set these big all-time goals, and I'm gonna be completely honest with all of you. I had set goals at the beginning of 2024, and I have not achieved any of them.
Hey, but you're achieving a goal you set in like 2022.
Right. No,
Look at
exactly.
that.
No, I'm not like upset by any means, but patience. But one of the things that is, I have the voice, I have him constantly telling me, like, keep putting in the work, keep doing what you're doing, trusting in me, and it will happen. Like it's what is supposed to happen will happen. And again, I'm also a woman of faith. So I lean on him. I lean on God a lot more, and that has helped me personally. But everybody is different. So a lot of my clients is I have us set our why, and then we also set macro goals to fall back on. So when our big overall goal seems like it's so far away, we have those small goals to focus on. Do you want to answer that question, or do you
want what was the question?
In a world that often,
I was going to go off the small goals.
Oh, you can go off the small goals.
Oh, okay. Well, a lot of like, even in, I'm a business management major right now, so a lot in almost every one of my classes, there's at least one section where it's like, yeah, set your big overarching goals, but you have to have milestones and small goals, and that's in everything in life. If you want to make a profit in a business, or if you want to be fit, or or in athletics.
There you go.
Like we set small goals at the beginning of each year, or end of each year, at least I do, and it's little things that we can improve on. And some of mine are, know the playbook faster than I already do, or lift 5 pounds more, 10 pounds more.
Take it one play at a time.
Yeah, a big one for me this year was take one play at a time, because I got in my head early. And I met with a sports psychologist because of one of my injuries, and one thing he told me is I was living in, he made sure I didn't use the word fear in discomfort of knowing, oh, when is the next time this injury is going to pop up?
Right.
Instead of trusting the process and trusting what my trainers were doing, and trusting that, oh, it's something I can't control.
Yeah.
I have to I have to still act as if it's not going to happen, play without that discomfort or without that fear, and trust the process that, hey, it's going to work out, and then maybe I get hurt, but we'll tweak it. You have to go through it and tweak what's not working, but you have to trust it.
Well, you know what I think can piggyback on top of that? Controlling your controllables.
Oh, that is one we have grew up on. Who was that?
That was mom.
That was mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Dave said that, yeah. But we can go on a whole other rant about that. So we'll have to save that. We'll have to put that in our back pocket.
That is
there.
That, yeah. That is a quote we grew up on.
Controlling what you can control, because guess what? Those things you can't control, as much as you try to think you can control them, you're actually adding more weight onto yourself, because it ain't gonna change. It ain't gonna change because you can't control it. So, what's the next
one? Which one we did social media?
We did the first two.
Okay.
Let's do the last one in case we're running out of time.
What personal experiences have taught you the most about patience in your respective fields?
I would say, see, I can go two different ways on this, because right now I'm going through a personal experience, but it's not in strength training. It's not in personal training. It's not in owning a business. It's in being a woman and conceiving. I can go over that, but you're not gonna
let's not do that when it's just you and me here.
But I could go over the business personally, because, and I honestly feel like once I let go of thinking I had control over my future, that is when things kind of unfolded. But I kept patience in my priorities and focused on what my priorities were at the time. And that I went through so many life lessons in my down period when I was teaching before I started to own the business, that was, I feel like, necessary and growth for me, and opened other doors that would have not opened if I would have started the business after COVID. And having that patience and those experiences, I feel like, is what allowed me to be the business owner and coach that I am. If I hadn't experienced that, if I hadn't had the patience and the trust in what my end goal, what my end result was going to be, then I personally do not think we'd be here today.
If you were like, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah. I can't really
relate.
I can't put it into words right now, but yes.
You see.
What I'm thinking is, like, relating it to football. There's going to be someone bigger, faster, stronger, better than you at something, and your role might not be the star. Your role might not, you might not be satisfied in your role, but you have to do the best you can in that role.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to lean on your talents. Like, there's a lot of guys, by far a lot of guys, bigger, stronger, faster, more athletic, 10 times more athletic than I am on the team. But I know what I can do is, like, when I broke my arm 2 years ago, I realized, I can't bring my athletic gifts to the field and help my team that way. But as soon as that happened, I got asked to help with practice and coaching. Mm-hmm. So I helped with that. I helped all the younger guys learn the playbook. I tried to bring my mental strengths, and lean on that to help them. And that brought me patience, and realized I can help the team by helping others.
Your worth was in something else.
Yeah, that you're not used to.
Yes.
But then you realize, hey, I can succeed at that.
Yeah. And then honestly, it made you a better player than you are now. What better player now than you were then? Yes. Yeah. Because you had that time to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good. That was good. Okay. Do you have anything else you would like to finish this podcast?
Patience.
We don't have to go over patience if you don't want. Jack. Oh no, I had a question. I have a question.
For me?
Yes, as a dude.
Okay.
As a dude. Okay, we're gonna go off the patience topic, because you told me not to tell you when we went to dinner. Remember, because I said I have a question to ask you on the podcast.
Yes.
Because I sent out a group text to all of our OGs that we're going to be lifting at a certain time on Thanksgiving Day.
Okay.
One, The only people that replied were the dudes. 2, you all replied with a GIF.
Did mine go through?
What is your obsession with GIFs?
What? No, what did mine go through?
Yes.
With the major league?
Yes.
Yes.
The only, I feel like when I look at a dude's text messages, like Jordan will be texting Ty or the other Ty, either of the Ties, you for crying out loud, and all I see are GIFs. Are they called GIFs? GIFs, whatever
GIFs.
they're called. Are they GIFs? GIFs?
GIFs.
Whatever.
GIFs. GIFs.
No words, no conversations, just freaking GIFs. Just, and anytime I'm in a group text and there's dudes, like,
well, you know how, okay.
Why?
I'm gonna go on a rant on this.
What is the obsession?
What I think it is yeah, it's funny. It there most of the time it's for laughter. It's funny, it's yeah. But the deeper meaning is, you know how many messages get miscommunicated over text because you can't tell what tone or what mood that person's in.
Oh my God. I will put money down. That is not the reason these men use GIFs.
No. I guarantee it's for jokes and stuff. But why GIFs are so good is because you can't, especially if it's a small message. Okay, let's go into text. There's so many ways to say okay or acknowledge a message, like liking it, loving it, saying K, saying okay, you know?
Yes.
No one understands the tone behind it.
Oh, so if you send
I'm clueless to tones on text. So I'm like, I don't know what mood they're in. I don't know if they're pissed or happy or excited. I don't know.
Oh my
A
God.
GIF? You say a GIF of like you inviting us. I had the major league wild thing GIF of him on the mound, and he went, yeah. So it's like excitement.
Oh Lord.
It shows excitement. It shows shows emotion.
It's to bring the emotion to the text.
Yeah. In life, like the best way to communicate is face to face, because you can see physical cues, you can see emotion, you can tell tone. But that's where all the miscommunication comes from in text, unless you know that person very well.
Okay, I can follow. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But the guys definitely use it for joking matters.
Oh, 10 times out of 10. Yeah. That like in that group text you made, it's all jokes.
Oh my God.
It's for the fun of
it. That was my automatic thought because it was one after the other. Trent, Jordan, Ty, you. I was like, GIF. What the heck? And none of the girls said anything. They just liked the text or like favorited the text. Oh,
yeah, but see, we're excited about it. What are you gonna get from a liked message? You're gonna be like, okay,
guys
couldn't respond.
Oh my gosh. But it makes sense.
Did it not make you smile?
It makes sense. It made me laugh. Yes.
See, that's the point.
Now I'm going to be receiving a bunch of gifts now. I expect nothing less.
Yep.
Okay. Well, this was second episode with Jack Hileman. We'll have more in the future. He has a lot of ideas and plans in store. We're going to get him back here Christmas break and for the new year. Are you going to answer?
We're going to have, hopefully in future podcasts, we're going to go to a joking tone. And one thing I'm really excited about, I love to make little homemade games and I love board games. So I'm going to make some games for some people to play, including the fam, you, Jace, Jordan.
If you say his name on the mic, you better come on.
Jordan Jenkins, you are required to come on for an episode.
We're trying to get my husband on the podcast, so we'll see if it'll work out. We'll see. All right, everybody. Have a good day and stay in tune for future episodes with Beyond the Surface with Madi Jenkins.
Toodles.